Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. So I was on a call this morning with some real estate investors, as that is something that my husband and I have started to do, which is really fun. I just love to learn about new things. And I'm excited about this newest thing. And so we were on the call, and part of the beginning of the call, the gentleman who was running the call had asked us about our why. And I believe it's Simon Sinek who writes about the power of a why. I don't remember the name of his book. But the thing that really stood out to me is if there is a big enough why, then you don't have to worry about the how. And I don't know if it was from his book or from another book, but I know that somebody else has coined that question, right? Or that phrase. And so one of the things I know that trips me up more often than not is the how, right? Like, I am a recovering control freak, and I want to know how the whole thing's going to work out, right? Like, I think that might just be human nature, not just me, if I'm being honest about this, right? Oftentimes we want to know, like, how exactly is this going to work out before I take this first step? Like, show me the whole picture before I decide to commit. We want to be able to weigh all of our options because there's a part of us that's afraid of making any kind of a mistake. Truth be told, that's where you learn, that's where you grow, is actually through all the mistakes. You figure it all out, right? Albert Einstein is known for his inventions, but he, quote unquote, failed 1,014 times in inventing the light bulb. He succeeded on the 1,015th time, right? And there's a quote where someone is interviewing him in regards to the light bulb, and they said, well, you failed that many times. And he goes, no, I just found 1,014 ways in which you couldn't make a light bulb. I didn't fail, it was just not the right thing, right? Like, it didn't work that way. And that's a beautiful way to look at things, but oftentimes we struggle because we think that everybody else seems to be getting it right the first time, that why can't we also get it right the first time? Spoiler alert, none of us get it right the first time. And if it looks like we got it right the first time, it's because we didn't show you the 100 other times that we screwed it up. Okay? It is just part of human nature that, like, we all didn't walk the very first time we tried to walk. We all didn't talk the first time we tried to talk. It was learning what worked and what didn't work to make us who we are. And there's beauty in that when you can love that part of you. And so here I want to talk about relinquishing the how, because that will trip you up more than anything else, really, is what I believe, is that trying to figure out exactly how it's going to work out will stop you from ever actually doing the thing. Because let me tell you this, if you were given a book, right, let's say this was somebody's power, and on your 16th birthday, you got a book that told you exactly how the rest of your life was going to unfold. Detail for detail, like day for day, at your 16th birthday, you now knew exactly how your life was going to unfold. Sit with that for a second. You knew exactly what was going to happen for the rest of your life the day you turned 16. My guess is, after a few days, you probably wouldn't want to live anymore, because there was no element of surprise to it. You already knew exactly what was going to happen, and maybe you even skipped to the very last page and you read how it all ended. One of two things would happen. One, you may get annoyed as to how the story unfolded and decide that you're going to change your own fate. Or two, you may decide that it's no longer worth showing up for because you already know how it all turns out. Very few of us would probably want to continue knowing exactly how it all unfolded. Could there be no surprise to it? We would already know. Oh, we do this. Oh, I meet my husband on this date and then we get married on that date, and oh, this happened to me. Oh, and that happened to me, right? Like, the purpose of life would kind of cease to exist. It would just be blah, right? Like, no, nobody. And yet, we insist upon wanting to know how something's going to unfold before we say yes. But the truth is, we don't want to know. Really, truly, deeply, deep down, you really don't want to know how it all unfolds. Do you want to know that the thing that you're moving towards happens? Yeah, probably. Because that would make it easier to commit to it. What I have found in reflecting and contemplating on this is that every decision, true 100% decision that I have made has come to fruition. I didn't know how it was going to happen at all, but I knew the thing was going to happen. And they have unfolded in the most beautiful ways. And so maybe it's not that you need the how. Maybe it's you just have to decide that it's going to happen. You're going to be the one. You're going to have a strong enough why that that thing is going to come to fruition. Your business is going to make X amount of dollars this month. Your other business is going to pay for itself. Your other business is going to, right? Like, this is going to happen. You're going to celebrate 20 years of marriage, right? Like, there are things that you can predetermine or decide in advance and then leave the how up to the universe, God, Mother Nature, whichever one you want to use. I use God, right? And so this has actually been something that I have been reminding myself of when I start to spiral into my control freakness. Is I'll say, you know what, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know it's going to. God always provides. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know it's all going to. I don't have to figure this all out. I just have to follow these little divine steps in front of me. Little divine nudges. Allow myself to be guided. I don't know how it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out beautifully, though. It's going to be a really great story in hindsight. And so I really want to challenge you to begin to use your energy for something better, right? Like, instead of trying to micromanage the universe, right? There's that, there's a meme that I've seen on social media where it's this guy kind of peeking around the door. And he's like, just checking in, God, to see how my last request is going, right? And it's like, we just want to know that it's working out for us. Well, it is working out for you, as long as you're taking ownership of it. If you're just leaving it up to whatever's happen's going to happen, well, you can't be mad at those results. But if you take the time to lead yourself and you work on some refinement, right? Doing a little bit of shifting, a little bit of changing, a little awareness here and there, right? Like, managing, moving, evolving, growing, it all ultimately works out in your favor. And if you're someone who reads the Bible tells us that the victory is already ours. And yet we spend a lot of energy trying to make sure it all works out. It doesn't have to work out your way in order for it to work out, right? This was a very humbling lesson that I learned when I was in an ATV accident, 9 years ago. 9 years ago this fall. And I went from being the mom who did all the things to being immobilized for weeks because of this knee injury. And I had to come to terms very quickly that the laundry was not going to get folded my way. The kitchen was not going to get folded my way. The kitchen. The kitchen wasn't going to get cleaned up my way. The laundry was not going to get folded my way. But it was going to get done. And that was okay. And that was a huge lesson in surrendering. Because I couldn't do those things. And so I had to be okay with how it was unfolding. And I was grateful for it to be done. Didn't matter how it was done. Because it was done. And I didn't have to do it. And it was this beautiful lesson in surrender. So, doesn't really matter how it gets done. As long as we make it there, right? Like, this is the pep talk I have to give myself before we go on road trips. If I'm driving with my children by myself, which I've done many times as a military spouse, I say a little prayer before I get in the car. God, I don't care what time we get there. I don't care how we get there, as long as we get there safely. And I release the need to beat the GPS, because somebody's going to have to go pee where there's no bathroom. Somebody's going to decide that they're hungry when there's no place to stop, and we'll have to, rerouting, recalculating, right? It's part of life. It's okay. Let it be fun. Surrender the why, or the how, rather. Know your why, surrender the how. And it will all work out beautifully. So, I'm sending you a whole lot of love. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.